What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to the meditations for the Empire versus Galactic Republic Remnant battle here. And my goodness, what a showing from the Empire. I'm going to preface any discussion we have here that I think that the team itself was well synergized and everything like that. But I think something that really helped me, and this is going to sort of like color all my thoughts on the matter. I think my draw deck was almost near perfect.
Your draws were phenomenal, and part of that was, and I want to just talk about how cool Veers is and how jealous I am that you were playing him. You got to fix your first draw into reserve at the start of the game. That was really good.
Yeah, putting the Sergeant into reserve right off the hop, so I just, you know what, I'm not going to draw him.
Yep.
Was really nice. I was originally really kind of lukewarm on Veers being my first draw, but then you pointed out, it's like, okay, well, you can either take half the damage on the commandos, or you can lose a point.
Yeah, you put me in a really, really tough spot, and thank goodness I drew Rex when I did.
Yeah,
but if I didn't draw Rex, if I drew anyone else on my team, that's terrible.
Yeah, Rex was the perfect first draw for you in that particular instance, which was really good. But yeah, oh my goodness. I have to admit, I was aware of the synergies that the Stormtroopers could do with this particular force, but having multiple Stormtrooper units to turn on coordinated offensive is actually just kind of insane.
Yeah.
Because I've always found that the Stormtrooper dice are just kind of meh. 5 dice. If they're focusing sharpshooter, sure, it goes up to 7. But the fact that I was rolling on average 7 dice without a focus and a sharpshooter.
Yeah, it really brings up their average, and boy howdy, when you're double tapping with that, it feels oppressive.
Yeah, like I think the worst double tap I had was in the Maul with the Stormtroopers, and even then they still performed rather well.
They put like almost all the conditions on him. They sent him kind of a little further back than he wanted to with the shove. They did a lot.
They did. Oh, no. The whole synergy here performed really well. I don't really think like I got a lot out of the protection or the extra defense die that Veers and Thrawn was giving me here. But honestly, like Veers and Thrawn, they weren't even the game plan here. Like Veers and Thrawn, they just kind of sat back and watched the Stormtroopers do everything.
Which honestly is canon.
Yeah. Like, it's actually, like, Thrawn had one activation. He walked up, he judo chopped Maul.
He did judo chop Maul to death. That was important.
And then, yeah, friggin' chiss pain in the ass there. Yeah, he judo chops Maul and then just casually walks over here.
Maul's like, I'm gonna hit you. Where'd he go?
Yeah, like, Thrawn just, never underestimate Thrawn, man. Like, he's crazy.
Thrawn was great, and Veers, for what he did, he had a major impact on the board. And always that kind of threat of being on a point, being like, oh, if I'm pinned here, I could just die.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy. Like, Veers' bombardment at the end of all things. Okay, so peek behind the curtain here. At the very end of the thing, we always discuss things off camera here, and leading from the I expect results, not perfection, we basically theoried out how the Snowtroopers win the game.
Yeah.
And we basically said, you know what, Snowtroopers just need to get 2 successes and 1 expertise through on Techo, and that's 4 damage.
That does it. That kills them.
And that does it. That takes them out. So, admittedly, we were like, you know what, let's see if the fun thing happens.
Yeah.
And the fun thing happened.
The fun thing happened.
And that was Veers basically getting to end it with a just explosive ending there.
Yeah. Which was very fun. Had it been anyone else, I still think it was your game, honestly.
It was getting, oh my god, it was Shatterpoint right after Veers.
Then it would have been Veers.
Then it would have been Veers again. We're just blowing up everything. Yeah, the way things were going, like it was really in my favor. You had lost Maul at this point. Lumi and Barris, unfortunately, were stuck all the way over here. Not really.
Yeah, that was a really unfortunate kind of place for them to wind up being.
Yeah, like for the first struggle, it was quite good for them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, after that, they were just really out of position. And because you weren't getting a lot of flow of the force triggers, right?
Yeah, your defense dice were on point. I wasn't killing enough people that I wanted to get these extra movements.
You're saying it's on point, but I also want to point out, here's 6 damage right here. They recovered a couple times.
Yes.
5 damage. You've wounded the lieutenant, so there was like 9 more damage there. You got the Snowtroopers twice.
Which is true, but I did have quite a few attacks where I was like, okay, I was banking on getting the flow of the Force. I think it happened twice, once with Maul, once with the with Echo Tech, where it was just like, I just need them to take this person down, and then flow of the Force flips the whole game in my favor. And
I think the one that really turned it for me was when Techo
failed to kill that guy. Yeah. That would have been, I turn this point off, I take the middle point, boom, bam, everything's going great for me.
It keeps everything in contention for a bit, because I think that particular churn, it also put us onto 0.
Yeah.
And it was momentum for both of us, whereas if you'd been able to do that, it would have been momentum for you, I think. No, it would have been no momentum, and it would have been on your side, I think. Because you would have
scored one more.
Yeah, you would have flipped this point right here, so you would have scored 3 instead of 2.
It would have been less momentum for you, which really was what was getting at me towards the end of the game. It was starting to add up.
Yeah, like look at this momentum right there. Like I was getting momentum out the wazoo. Like especially that one activation where the Stormtroopers woke up, took out Rex and then Maul.
Yep, Rex and Maul in one activation was phenomenal for you.
And that was after getting a momentum from everything landing on 0 at least once, right? Like it was kind of crazy in that regard, and it just really worked in my favor for that one. So yeah, I want to say, like, I think your list itself was, sound.
I don't hate this list. I do like this list. I think that there is some fun synergy there. I think would I play this list again, I would put the Commandos with Luminara in and flip that around.
That's fair. Just
so that they could more consistently get off those coordinated fires, partially because I forgot, but also partially because there were a couple attacks from Maul where he's not Republic. They can't coordinate that fire.
Yeah. I mean, you missed one coordinated fire trigger in there, and the next one was meaningful because it did take some guys out there. Yep. But it was just. It just goes back to one of the issues we've been having with the clone troopers themselves. They just feel a little pillow-fisted at times.
They feel sometimes quite pillow-fisted, and sometimes they feel like they do go over. They do fall over quite easily. Like, the realization I had with your first activation when I went, oh yeah, if you hit the Commandos, they're half dead? They're just half their health is gone.
Yeah, as soon as you said that, I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute, that's really bad for me.
We'll bombard that point then, I guess. And yeah, because it put you immediately on the back point. And if you had pulled anyone other than Rex...
If I had pulled anyone other than Rex, like if I pulled the Commandos, they then have a really dead activation of one person stays here and the other person walks up to that point.
And if you pulled Veers or Lumi... Or even Tekko, just...
Veers, Lumi, Tekko, Maul, Shatterpoint. Well, at that point, Shatterpoint Rex, but like every other draw would have been terrible for me.
Yeah, it was a rough set of decisions right there, and yeah, so that's something. Like I was reluctant to do it because I didn't want to give you the extra dash, but yeah, as soon as you point out, it's like either 3 damage or reposition, like the dash up a little bit. It's like
right. I got a little bit of distance from it, and it wasn't irrelevant that I had that distance, but. Also, I was just off of my home point turn 1.
Yeah. No, and that always hurts, because when you're on the back foot right off the hop, right? And now, again, thankfully you pulled Rex to start, so Rex just gets them back on the point, but it can really slow you down a little bit otherwise, because if you hadn't been able to get back on there, I mean, Rex was able to go and take a point back here, I think.
He was able to take that point, that very hotly contested point over there.
Oh, yeah, geez. Well, I mean, look at this. Look at how many Stormtroopers are here. I also want to say, like, only Imperial Stormtroopers are so precise. That was definitely going on this game.
Oh, yeah.
My attack dice, like, I think I had, like, 2 attacks where it was like, yeah, here's a couple fails. Otherwise, like, just fire.
You were on all cylinders today.
Rain fire, yeah. It was crazy.
Definitely learning from Veers.
Yeah, definitely. I like Veers. Veers is making the Stormtrooper list really interesting. In the future, do I bring Thrawn with it again? I don't know. I I kind of feel like the discourse around bringing Vader 2 might be a little bit better.
Vader 2 could be quite good. I don't hate Moff Gideon.
I thought about Moff Gideon as well. Yeah. No, I think you could really replace Thrawn with anyone. I think almost any of these primaries, Empire primaries, works with this list.
Yeah.
And it all depends on what kind of style of game you want to play. Like, I think on shifting priorities, Thrawn might be the better one, because being able to put somebody in reserve for free and then reposition them for a force.
Yeah,
is really kind of cool. But yeah, all in all, I mean, as usual, fun game. I think we saw some really cool stuff happen there.
Yeah,
and we'll see you guys next time. Happy wargaming.